Hey guys, so I'm kludging up a mount for the loop antenna. So the idea is I'm going to fit it to the hardware that's on the pole for the satellite dish, which, as it turns out, the bracket is exactly 55mm wide, the U bracket, so this will just sit in there nicely. And so that'll go on right down here at the bottom. And then I've made a piece with a 3/4 inch hole to take the mount for the antenna itself. And then the other end of the antenna, which is 1 meter away, will be held on at this end. Exactly how, yet to be determined. So here it is, ready for installation. So the tube of the antenna, the base, goes into the hole. And then the other end of the loop goes through those two dowels and then is held in with a cable tie. Because it says however you fix it at the top, mustn't use any metallic devices. All I need now is for the weather to clear up so I can get out there and do it. So the snow finally gave way to a freezing cold rain, so I got outside and mounted the loop antenna. And it's not completely done yet. It's basically just outside the window, and the coax comes in. Here's the little amp, and yeah. So I'm going to try and do a with the Texan, I'm going to try and do the sort of internal-external thing, just on a couple of stations. But in reality, most of the time I'm going to be using my vintage radios on this. And so I'll do a little scan, I think, across all the different wave bands with one of the Pi radios, because it has band spread tuning, which makes shortwave a lot easier. So I'm going to see if I can set something up here so you can do the compare. So this is 5,500 kilohertz upper sideband, and it's a weather channel. So it's giving all the European airports and the weather conditions.
10 kilometers or more. Clouds scattered at 1,600 feet.
So I hope you can see that the signal is relatively strong. So if I switch to the internal,
16,000 feet. Temperature 6. Dew point 4.
Basically hardly anything at all.
At 1900, wind 140 degrees, 6 knots. Wind variance between 110 degrees and 170.
So I'll do the same for just a couple of the other shortwave channels. So you'll notice as I scan along, there's loads and loads of channels. So that's internal antenna. External. Internal, external. So I think you see the difference. So one of the drawbacks for me of the Texan is the audio quality is pretty weak. The receiver itself is great, but the audio amp section, apart from the fact that the speaker is rubbish, the volume control on shortwave is very, very touchy, so you go from no volume at all to really excessive volume very quickly. The treble control does make an effect, but the bass control doesn't make any effect at all. So I may have a go and poke around with that at some point later. So I was going to use this Pi P53 because the glass dial is in almost pristine condition. But when I tried it out quickly, I discovered that one of the shortwave bands isn't working. So it'll be back on the bench at some point to get that looked at. I mean, I bought this set as a spares for the original one that was my mum and dad's. So I'll get the other P53. We'll have a look at that one. So first of all, on long wave, some stations actually come in too strong. Like this one is distorted. Oh, that's not too bad.
De fouler, je veux dire, en moins, et que là il les a. Là il a un peu tout ce qu'il faut, un gros public, un grand moment, l'anniversaire aussi de son corps du monde de l'an passé.
I mean, I can't do the internal and external because this doesn't have an internal antenna, and besides it'd be just boring. So I mean, you get a sense of how the difference. So this will just give you a sense of how lively it is now on the airwaves.
National cet après-midi, le Red Star a battu le Paris FC sur le score de 2-1 dans le choc de la région parisienne. Un choc qui était également très important en vue de l'accession en Ligue 2 pour la caractère en fait civilisationnel. J'entends ce terme.
That's what I mean by the selectivity. It has trouble distinguishing between the stations when they're close together, and you'll hear it on broadcast much more clearly.
Le président ukrainien Petro Poroshenko s'est entretenu ce soir au téléphone avec François Hollande et l'Espagnol contré par un défenseur de Veuve, me semble-t-il, et puis qui traînait par là, eh bien, el equipo sea menor, pero bueno, ahora tenemos 3 meses por delante, que es lo más importante.
Les statistiques montrent également un ralentissement marginal du taux de croissance de l'économie du Royaume-Uni.
Actually, reception conditions are not brilliant tonight, but still, the difference is impressive. Okay, so let's broadcast. This is the 49-meter band.
Je veux dire, les gens, pour une certaine génération, ils ont besoin de cette rassurance. Et pour des jeunes, que ce soit vous, que ce soit la nouvelle...
Hear themselves speaking about some sort of issue and they think, wow, I said that, and other people are listening to me. And at the same time, radio is really the medium for young people all across the continent where they're not just...
I find it fascinating, all the different languages that I have no idea where they're from. It's just interesting that there are so many different languages around the place. We have a bit of a hum problem on this set as well to be fixed.
Ранили как минимум 10 палестинцев. Израильские войска также задержали одного палестинского активиста.
And the audio quality on this is so much better than the Texan.
Higher costs potrebbe essere una ricetta meno onerosa di un'estensione del piano di aiuti attualmente in vigore.
Jour pour jour, ils se rencontraient. Un an plus tard, toujours à la Saint-Valentin, ils sont tombés amoureux et cette année, c'est le mariage.
Özellikle arzuladığı, vurguladığı bir noktadır.
It's always a buzz for me when I find a station that's actually still valid, because all these list of stations are by and large long gone, but this one is from Turkey and he's talking about Ankara, so that's really cool.
Aralık ve Ocak ayında Libya'da kaçırdığı
So at least I know that language now.
gösteren 5 dakikalık bir video yayınladı. Ukrayna'da silahlar gece yarısından sonra büyük ölçüde sustu. Şimdiye kadar Debaltsevo yakınlarında bir kasaba.
In those areas, and with e-commerce becoming more popular in even those remote areas, maybe there's something, you know, a competitive edge for EMS. But actually, one last thing I want to say here.
So there you go, guys. That's it with the antenna. Once I get this set refurbished or restored and aligned, and so the selectivity is better, I think the experience will be even better. But yeah, there we go. That's it. End of this particular project.